All right. This is the third and final tape of Conrail on Track Safety Manual, June 1996, S55, Revision 397. Our definition: adjacent tracks. Two or more tracks with the tracks in space less than 25 feet apart, blocking device, a lever, plug, ring, or other method of control restricted the operation with a switch or signal control track. The track upon all movements must be authorized by the train dispatcher operator. Derail track safety device designed with the guide of the cars off the rails and select a spot as a means of protection against collision or other accidents. Effective securing device used to prevent operation of the manual operated switch or derail that is vandal resistant, tamper resistor, and three, design applied with a script that usually uniquely tagged and removed only by the class craft of the group of employees from the width of production is provided exclusively use of the track. A method of establishing work limits on a control track with the movement authority withheld with the restriction of the train. The dispatcher operator will one or more approach if the work limits are protected by the flagman. A flagman employed designated with the direct and restrict movement of the train's point of the track to provide with the track protection of the roadway worker. The employee with the way not perform any other duties. Form D, C movement of the permit. Form D. Foul time, a method of extinguishing work limited through the exclusive use of the track in which the notification is given and recorded with the train dispatcher operator with the employee with the no train will operate the specific segment of the control track during the specified time period. Required blocking devices has been placed on the control machine to protect the track. Foul time shall remain in effect until the employee to whom the foul time is issued report clear of the track. The following with the track location and individual equipment on such as the proximity of the track of the individual equipment can be struck of the moving train on track equipment in case of the within 4 feet of the field side of the near of the running rail. All right, gang. See roadway worker group, hump yard. See remotely controlled hump classification yard, accessible track. A method of establishing work limit on the non-controlled track, move preventing access for the work limit to individual train detection procedure that you may be used under the strictly defined circumstances. Train qualified loan worker to provide on-track protection, certain tracks outside working limits. Interlocking limits the track between the opposing home with the signal of the interlocking individual and lone working individual employee who is being within forward with the track protection. Another employee that is not member of the gang and is not engaged with the common task with another employee movement that perform D movement permit form D. The form containing the written authorization restriction instruction issued by the dispatcher specified in individuals non-track controlled not tracks on which the trains are permitted with the rules of special instructions to move without receiving authorization train dispatcher operator. On-track safety. The track and the state of freedom of the danger and being of the track of the moving the railroad train, other equipment, provided with operating safety rules governing the track occupancy by personnel, trains, and on-track equipment. Operator. The railroad employee with the charge remotely controlled switch, derail, interlocking control point, segment control track. Pilot. An employee assigned with the train or track car where the engineer conductor track car is not qualified on physical characteristics or operating rules of the territory to be traversed. Qualified employee. An employee with a successfully completed all required training that has been demonstrated proficiency and been authorized to perform duties of a particular position and function. Railroad bridge and worker. Employee with the contractor railroad responsible for the construction, inspection, maintenance of the bridge, whose assigned duties are performed on the bridge, including inspection, testing, maintenance, repair, construction, and construction of the track, bridge structural members, other operating mechanism, water traffic control system, signal communication track, train control system integral to that bridge. Remotely controlled hump yard classification yard. Controlled hump classification yard. The area where the cars can roll freely into the tracks under the wires. The area with the crest of the hump yard throughout, including the ladder tracks, the pull out end of the class yard, would include some of the class tracks. Or restricted speed. Prepare to stop within one half of the range of the vision. Short of vision with instructions swiftly and improperly lined with V on the lockout for the broken rail. Showing that the speed must not be exceeded with 20 miles per hour outside of the interlocking limits, or 15 miles where the interlocking with the speed applied with the entire movement. The application of the restricted speed trains other than the passenger train track cars must not exceed 15 miles an hour. Roadway maintenance machine power. Equipment other than the hand and switch being used near the track of the maintenance, repair, construction, inspection, track, bridges, work, roadway, signal communication, electrical, traction system, machines may have been road or real wheels or way may be stationary. Roadway maintenance work train, a train which is being operated with the working limits in conjunction with the roadway maintenance construction repairs under the direction of designated employee in charge. Roadway work group, two or more employees working together on a common task again. Roadway work group. Roadway worker, an employee with the contractor conrail who duties include inspection, construction, maintenance, repair of the track of bridges, roadway signals, communication systems, electrical traction system, roadway facilities, roadway maintenance machinery on near track of the non-residential hauling of the track employee responsible on track protection. 3-step protection procedure used for the engineer to protect the employee before they follow the equipment. 3-step protection, 3 basic components. Apply the brakes, center the reverser, put the generator field switch in the off and open position. Alright, track barricaded. Designated sign with obstruction fastened to the track that prevents the access of the track. Track center distance for the center line with one track with the center line with the adjacent track. Train coordination. Method which the roadway worker can establish working limits, protection, exercising control over the movement which has properly exclusive authority on the track to perform material distribution of the work, train, snow duty, track work, or other derailment. Site work warning tag. This includes the equipment of the wood for the surface does not be operated. Warning tag SO501. Watchmen train approaching employee warning employees assigned with the warning other employee with the approach of the train engine other equipment to permit the employees to safely clear the track before train engine equipment reach the work site. Working limits segment of the track with a defined limit established the NORAC rules for which the train and engines are moved only with the authorized employees such as in charge of having the control or act of the working limits. Work limits will be established through a solution view of the track of the file time train coordination accessible track. And the next is the index, and we don't really need to read that, and the notes. That completes the reading of the Conrail on-track safety manual, 1996.